Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name's Cody and today I will be bringing you my 2022 NRL season review of the Parramatta Eels. Before we get into the season review of the Eels, I just want to give a couple shout outs to two rugby league YouTubers who have both reached a milestone. They're both die-hard Parramatta Eel supporters, both very loyal to my channel, and they both comment a lot on my channel, and here they are. The first shout out goes to Rugby League History, who's just reached an impressive 3,000 subscribers. Unbelievable achievement. He's a die-hard Parramatta Eel supporter all the way from the UK. Hope you're doing well in the UK, my friend. Congratulations on 3,000 subscribers. What he does for the NRL community is amazing, like the Rugby League YouTube Awards. Well, once again, mate, congratulations for reaching 3,000 subscribers. I'll put a link in the description below, so make sure you check him out. He's a die-hard Parramatta supporter. He comments on most of my videos. He is very loyal to my channel. He's been subscribed to me, I think, since about July 2021, I believe. But if you haven't checked out his channel, I'll put a link in the description below. Hope you're doing well, bro. The second shout out goes to TJC Sports, an amazing rugby league YouTube creator who's just reached 1,000 subscribers in his first year of doing rugby league content on YouTube. TJC is a very loyal supporter to my channel, just like Rugby League History. TJC comments on many videos throughout this year. Now, he was a long-time viewer of my channel since I started Rugby League content back in 2021 at the start last year. And now he's grown 1,000 subscribers in his first year in 2022. Unbelievable achievement. I'm proud of you, legend. You are a legend to this channel. If you haven't checked out his channel, I'll put a link in the description below. Same for Rugby League History. He did a 1K live stream 1 or 2 days ago as of this recording. If you haven't checked it out, make sure you check out his channel and watch the whole thing. It was amazing. Anyways, with the shout outs done, let's get into today's season review of the Parramatta Eels. The Eels finished in the top 8 this year, finishing in 4th place, playing a total of 28 games, scoring 34 points, with a total of 18 wins and 10 losses. The extra 2 wins and losses are counted from the finals, if you're confused. The Eels scored a total of 608 points in the regular season, scoring a total of 84 points from the qualifying final to the grand final, which comes to a total of 692 points for the season. The Eels conceded a total of 489 points in the regular season, adding on the 83 points they conceded during the finals. So adding on 489 with 83, which will equal a total of 572, conceding 572 points for the season. The points differential for the Eels in the regular season was a positive 119. Counting the finals, they got a positive score of 120, so it's 1 better. The Eels' home record was 8 wins and 4 losses. Counting their semi-final against the Raiders, which comes to 9 wins and 4 losses. Their away record was the same as home, 8 wins and 4 losses. And counting their 3 away games in the finals, counting the grand final, came to a total of 9 wins and 6 losses, with the Eels winning 4 of their last 5 games between round 21 and 25. The Eels started off very well for the season, a round 1 win, very close win over the Titans, 32-28 at CommBank, following a 2-point loss against the Sharks at PointsBet Stadium in round 2, 18-16. And then going straight to Melbourne in round 3, beating the Storm in a close game as well, beating them in Melbourne 28-24. In round 4, they flogged the Dragons 48-14 at CommBank Stadium, before meeting the Gold Coast Titans again, this time at Cbus Super Stadium in another close game, 26-20. In round 6 was a really shocking upset as their main rivals, the West Tigers, beat them by 1 point, 21-20 at CommBank. Before the following week in round 7 up at Newcastle, they flogged the Knights 39 points to 2. Before losing to the North Queensland Cowboys up there at TIO Stadium in Darwin 35-4 in round 8. Before rebounding against the Panthers in round 9 at Bluebet Stadium, beating them 22-20, which that was a really shocking result, as Penrith had not lost at Penrith since 2019 up to that point. And in round 10 at Magic Round, just losing to the Roosters in a close game 31-24. Round 11 back at CommBank, they beat the Manly Seagulls in another close encounter 22-20 before beating the Raiders in Canberra 28-20 in round 12. They'll have to buy in round 13 before getting flogged again, this time to another rival of theirs, the Canterbury Bankstown Bulldogs at Accor Stadium 34 points to 4 on the Monday public holiday. In round 15 they managed to beat the Roosters at CommBank 26-16 before losing to my team, the Rabbitohs, 30 points to 12 in round 16 at Accor Stadium on a very wet night. In round 17 against their rivals, the West Tigers, they beat them this time at Leichhardt Oval 28-20 before beating the Warriors at CommBank 28-18 in round 18. In round 19, they were smashed by the Broncos at CommBank 36-14 before beating the Panthers again in round 20, this time 34-10 at CommBank Stadium. That means the Eels are the only team that beat the Panthers twice in 2022. In round 21, they beat the Sea Eagles again at 4 Pines Park, this time 36-20, before getting smashed again in their final loss in the regular season against my team, the Rabbitohs again, this time at CommBank 26-0, beating their rivals, the Bulldogs, this time 42-6 at CommBank in round 23. In round 24, they smashed the Broncos, this time 53-6 at Suncorp Stadium, and then once again at CommBank Stadium, beating the Storm in one season again, 22-14. The Eels finals campaign started off really awful as they went on to lose to the Panthers for the first time this season, 27-8 at Bluebet Stadium. In week 2 of the finals, they flogged the Raiders 40 points to 4 at CommBank Stadium before picking up a bit of a controversial win over the Cowboys 24-20. I'm not going to discuss what happened. Everyone should know what happened. But regardless, they made the grand final against the Panthers. Again, this is the first grand final between the two clubs. But the Panthers will go out as victors as they won 28-12 over the Eels, meaning they are the second team to be back-to-back premiers in the NRL era after the Roosters did the same thing in 2018 and 2019 NRL seasons. Going through the Eels' best wins of the seasons, I reckon all 4 games where they played the Storm and the Panthers twice in the regular season, 22-14 and 28-24 in rounds 3 and 25 against the Storm were excellent, and rounds 20, 34-10 and round 9, 22-20, they were some of their best wins, but their biggest win of the season goes to was against the Knights as they go on to beat the Knights 39 points to 2. 2 more good wins they had this season against the Raiders in week 2 of the finals, as they would flog them 40 points to 4. I will say Eels and Cowboys in week 3, even though it's a bit controversial, as they made the grand final 24-20. And then another flogging they enjoyed was against the Bulldogs in round 23, as they lost to the Bulldogs earlier in the year, but they'll go on to beat the Bulldogs in round 23, this time 42 points to 6. And another great win for the season, which, my mistake, their biggest win of the season, by 47 points, was against the Broncos, 53 points to 6. I reckon that was a good win as well for them. Now, going through some of the Eels' worst losses, even though this was a 1-pointer, I think the Easter Monday clash between the Eels and Tigers is definitely one, as they would give the Tigers their first win of the season, 21-20. Another worse loss was against the Cowboys in round 8 in Darwin, where they would be smashed 35 points to 4. Cowboys are used to the heat. The Eels are not, even though the Eels have played up there for the last couple of years and have taken the Cowboys there. I think this is the 3 times they play there now. Not too sure. Probably another worse loss was against their arch rivals, the Bulldogs, 34 points to 4 in round 14. I reckon against the Broncos in round 19, 36-14. And then probably another worse loss was against the Rabbitohs in round 22, as they were going to lose 26-0. The top point scorer for the Eels for this year was Mitchell Moses, scoring a total of 220 points. And the top try scorer for the Eels for this year was Clint Gutherson, their captain, scoring a total of 15 tries. Mike Sevo was the second top try scorer, scoring a total of 13 tries. He would have scored more if he played all games this year. Unfortunately, he succumbed to an ACL injury towards the end of 2021 season and only played just after halfway through the season. Now going through the signings for the Parramatta Eels as of the 31st of October. Okay. So the Eels have gained 4 players as of 31st of October, and they are Jack Mucci from the New Zealand Warriors, Gerard Monasia from the Knights, Jermaine Hopgood from the Panthers, and Josh Hodgson from the Canberra Raiders. And the Eagles have lost a lot of star players, and some have been released as well. So David Hollis, Haraz Perham, and Solomona Nakira, I think I said that correctly, have been released, while the other players have gone to other clubs. Manatana Nikoa has gone to the Warriors, Isaiah Papali'i has gone to the Tigers, Reid Marnie has gone to the Bulldogs, Ray Stone has gone to the Dolphins, Organ Kafusi has gone to the Sharks, and Tom Opacek has gone to the Super League team, Hull Kingston Rovers, or known as Hull KR. Overall, with the Eels this year, they've done very well and they made the grand final, so I'm going to give them an 8 out of 10. Now, I give them an 8 out of 10 because for this year, they were really a great team to watch. There were some games they were very inconsistent after a big victory over a great team, but they actually did not lose back-to-back games at all this year. One of the few teams to actually not go back-to-back losses this year. Like some games they lost to a bottom 8 team, while they had great victories over a top 8 team like the Panthers or the Storm. But this year they were amazing to watch. They were the most unlikely team to make the grand final from the top 4, but they did make it after a flogging win over the Raiders and a bit of a close win over the Cowboys. But I think they're going to drop off a bit next year. Now, I reckon they will make the top 8. Will they finish in the top 4 or make the grand final next year? With the amount of star players they lost for this season, for next year, it's going to be a bit hard. But I reckon they'll still stay strong, play very well, finish in the top 8. Top 4, I will be shocked if they do finish in the top 4 still and make the grand final. Yep. But it's still 37 years without a premiership. That's going to linger for a lot of Parramatta fans. Like, when is it going to be the one in a long decade? They've become like the Rabbitohs. They had to wait 43 years to win another premiership from 1971 to 2014. The Eels are getting very close, but I reckon the Eels could get a premiership within the next couple of years. But as long as they stay very consistent and play a full 80 minutes in all games, and not lose to a lower grade team like the Tigers or the Bulldogs, I reckon they'll play very well for next year. But definitely a top 8 finish. They won't fall out, or they could fall out at 8. I think it's very unlikely, but who knows what could happen. Anyways, overall, some of the great Eels' best players this year, definitely their co-captain, my apologies, Clint Gutherson, Junior Paulo, Isaiah Papali in the second row especially. He was fucking amazing. I'll have to give it to Mitchell Moses as well. Some games he didn't play well at all, but he was probably like their main man, Mitchell Moses, this year. Like, there was some concerns that the Eels were not going to do well after he was knocked out in one of the finals games, but they all proved us all wrong. Also, Mike Sevo, even though he was out with a very severe ACL injury for at least half the season, he came back very well and was one of the main contributors to the Eels' success for the back end of the 2022 season. Anyways, this will conclude my 2022 season review of the Parramatta Eels. I hope you enjoyed it. The next team I will be doing will be a bottom 8 team, and I've got to get this out of the way. I will be doing the Manly Sea Eagles. That's going to be a bit of a tough one to do, majority with all the drama that's happened in the last couple of weeks. Anyways, everyone, I hope you enjoyed my season review of the Parramatta Eels. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe for more content like this. And make sure you go check out TJC Sports and Rugby League History. Links will be in the description below. Anyways, everyone, I'm wrapping it up, and I'll see you all in the next video. Take care.